You want to eat it? 那你先跟我说，你到底混哪里？什么地方？哪个国家？
Eat it.
You want to eat it?
Then eat it.
Okay.
Oh no, it is.
Okay, we're recording. Look, it's time to make the video. 好不好? Where are you from? Do you know? Something I think about from time to time is...
Mommy.
Yeah, I think about mommy, yeah. But when Xiaomai gets old and people ask him where he's from, how is he going to reply? What's he going to say? What ethnicity are they supposed to write on his birth certificate, his passport, or his ID card?
Adika.
He was born here in Shanghai, but he has a US passport and obviously a mixed ethnic background. Can we focus? His Chinese is improving so quickly now that we're back to China. As you all know, we live in an increasingly global society where we can hop on a plane and travel around the world in like one day. With that comes cross-cultural marriages and cross-cultural kids. So with him, we were really curious to see what his full ethnic background is, because ethnicity is a very sacred part of who each and every one of us is. Why? Because we can't choose our ethnicity and we can't change our ethnicity. So we're going to take a look back in time and figure out a little more about your heritage. 好不好?
Huh?
How? You want to go?
Go.
Okay, he wants to go. Ethnicity is one of those things that is very, very hard to define because many different people have many different ideas about what it means to them. For me, as an American, I find it very easy to separate my nationality and my ethnicity. If someone asks about my ethnic background, I would never say that I'm American. Of course, this can't really be compared with China because the US has a much shorter history and quite a bit of immigration from many different countries. 所以我很好奇，小麦到底混哪里? Well, of course, he's 50% Han Chinese because my wife is Han Chinese. I have taken a DNA test because I was curious about my own ethnic background, and they've been able to make some very interesting discoveries since taking the DNA test. So let's take a look and find out where the other half of Xiaomai comes from. As you can see, no surprises, a lot of European, and the biggest part of me here, 32%, is Germanic Europe. So basically around Germany, and I do know that my grandfather, that is my mother's father, was part Czech. So that makes sense why it would come up Germanic Europe. However, it doesn't really give me a timeline as far as when this was. So most likely it was quite a few hundred years ago, maybe up to 1,000, 2,000 years ago. Speaking of German, do you know what my favorite German company is? Lingoda. Lingoda is the #1 trusted European language school. You can study not only English, but German, Spanish, French, and business English. And like all German products, Lingoda has the German stamp of quality. How good is it? Well, they are so confident that they're willing to give you a 100% cash back refund if you complete their language super sprint promotion. Sound too good to be true? It's really very simple. Click the link below and sign up for the Lingoda Language Super Sprint. You need to attend 30 classes per month for 3 months. Before you sign up, read their terms and conditions to make sure you know exactly how to get that 100% refund back. If that's too intense for you, you can also do the regular sprint, which is 15 classes per month for 3 months, and get a 50% refund back. The classes will start April 28th, but you need to sign up by April 16th and put down a €49 deposit to save your spot. Once you sign up, the payments will come out each month automatically for 3 months. Over 40,000 students have participated in the sprint over the past 3 years. The teachers are awesome, they're so nice, they're so funny. You get to keep all the course materials when you're done. So if you need to boost your language confidence and you need to do it quickly, this is perfect for you. Are you up for the challenge? Click the link below. I also have a voucher code where you can get a €10 discount off the deposit. The next part is European Jewish. My grandfather, that is my dad's dad, was 100% Jewish. And of course that means I am at least a quarter Jewish. So that checks out 24%. And interestingly enough, my uncle was able to trace back a little more specifically about where my Jewish ancestors came from and it was a town called Zhytomyr, which is in western Ukraine. It'd be cool to go there someday, kind of in northwestern Ukraine. So here I can read a little bit about the Jewish history of Zhytomyr. All I know from this is that in the 17 and 1800s they had a much bigger Jewish population than they do today. I'm sure Hitler and World War II were not kind to them. I'm guessing my ancestors in this part of the world were probably pre-1700s, just because on this map you can see it's quite big. There's not a real specific timeline. And I say that because once we get here to Norway, then it starts to get real specific, almost scary specific. So it does say that I'm 23% Norwegian, which is from these areas. As you can see, part of it's in Sweden, and you can see a lot of these areas overlap. So if you add those together, it's about 33%. It's a little bit more than my Germanic Europe portion. When I click this, I get a whole timeline from 1700 all the way to 1925. You can see in this group there's over 350,000 people that can trace their DNA back to this area of Norway. So my more recent ancestors came from Norway. Trondelag, Hedmark, Jämtlands. I have no idea how to pronounce these things. You can see a lot of people started migrating to the northeastern part of the US. And look what happens in 1850. A lot of them going to Chicago, Wisconsin, Minnesota, where I'm from. 1875 to 1900, mass migration. And if we go in here a little bit, 1900 to 1925, you can see Minnesota, Wisconsin, very heavily Norwegian. My hometown right here, just north of the biggest concentration of Norwegians. You can see it also says a little Russia, England, and Finland. But those are just small amounts. The Norwegian ancestry is really interesting to me because my uncle was actually able to trace back our ancestors to this boat. This is the boat they came over from Norway to New York through Ellis Island, where they immigrated to. It's called the Helig Olav. But look at that boat, man. That's really crazy to see the boat that my ancestors came over from Europe on. It must have taken weeks to get there. And even more interesting is this manifest of all the alien passengers when they immigrated to Ellis Island. Port of arrival, New York, July 24th, 1905. That is when my Norwegian ancestors first came to the US. As far as the Jewish or Germanic, I'm not quite sure, but this is quite interesting to see. You can see the names of the people that came over, super Norwegian. Larson, Olsen, Anderson. It shows you how much money they had. Like some of these people, they only had $10, $20. I don't know how much that would be today, but I don't think it's much. They brought everything they had. They were never going home. They were all asked a few strange questions. Were you ever in prison before? Are you a polygamist? Are you an anarchist? Look who came back. Look who came back. So, oh, geez. Hold on. Hey. If we look at my most recent ancestry, then Xiaomai, you are a Chinese Norwegian Jew. What do you think? Chinese Norwegian Jew. How many Chinese Norwegian Jews are in the world? Probably not very many. You might be the only one, buddy.
Maybe.
No, that's microphone. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're all human. But it's kind of fun to look into your ethnic background and see where we come from, right? Where'd you come from? Don't forget about the Lingoda Super Sprint. Click the link below. Read those terms and conditions. Get that 100% cashback refund. So what do you guys think? When he gets older and people ask him where he's from, what should he say? You gotta say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Say stay happy.
Stay happy.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
He say, 我是麦克老师。
麦克老师。
麦克老师。Yeah, donk.